Hi everyone, welcome you all. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create first JMeter test case. So as part of this, we'll follow step by step. So first let us start your JMeter. So we need to just go to your JMeter location wherever you have installed, and we need to open your command prompt. And once you open your command prompt here, we need to just go to cd bin folder. So cd bin folder. Inside this bin folder, you have a jmeter.bat file. So this bat file you have to run. So you can just directly double click on this icon, jmeter.bat. It will launch your JMeter application. Or you can just type here jmeter.bat and press enter, and then it will launch your JMeter application. So here I already launched my JMeter application. This is the first UI of your JMeter application. Now we'll see how to start here. So first thing is a test plan. So as soon as I have started your JMeter application, first entity you can see is a test plan. So the test plan is a container which contains a lot of things, like all the elements of JMeter will be created here under test plan. And the entire project is also saved as a part of test plan. So the first thing is I'm just going to create, the test plan is already there. So by default, test plan will be there. Suppose if you want to create a new test plan, just go to the file, click on the new, then it will be created a new test plan. So the next thing is I'll show you how to create thread groups. So the first and most important thing here is if I right click on this test plan, add the threads, or this is nothing but users. So how many users want to perform a test? So that we need to define. So under thread users, you can see thread group. So thread group is representing number of users. So select this thread group. Now here we can also rename this one thread group, or if you want to have the same thing, you can just have like this. Suppose if I change as number of users, then this will automatically affected here after closing this window. So I just can change the name here, that is called thread group name. And here there are multiple actions to be taken after sampler error. So if there is any error getting, so we can just perform a post action here. So there are multiple things are there, so we'll discuss it later. So this is the area which is most important. So number of threads, or here we can specify number of users, and here ramp up period, so in seconds. So that means number of thread means users, how many number of users should perform this particular test. And by default one will be there, we can increase this number. And the ramp up period in seconds. So basically, for example, if I say 5 users, so 5 users will send 5 requests. But what is the ramp up period? So suppose if I say 3 here, so every user, first user send a request, after 3 seconds again second user will send the request, again after 3 seconds third user will send the request. So this is basically a time ramp up period of time. So every 3 seconds of interval, the user will send the request. And here this is called loop count. So the same number of users and how many times the user should send the request. So that's called loop count. How many times these same user, 5 users, repeatedly sending the request. So if I select forever, it will go to keep on sending the request forever. And if you want to specify the number of loops here, we can just specify the loop count, how many number of times we have to repeat the same request sent by the number of users. So this is most important sections. For now, I'm just adding only one user and 1 second of time, and then loop count is just say 1 here. And this is a basic important setup we need to do. This is called thread properties. And once we have add this, then the next thing is just go to your test plan, then the users will be created. So this just I had given the name to the thread, right? Fine. So we have just specified number of threads, ramp up period, and loop count. But after specifying this configuration thread group, what kind of request we have to send? So that we need to specify. So here under users, select this add, there is an option called sampler. So sampler is nothing but that kind of a request we have to send to the server. So here there are so many types of requests are there. There are different type of samplers. So currently I'm just taking one HTTP request. This is one of the sampler. And in this particular window, you have to specify all these details, like kind of HTTP request. You can add some comments. And here, this is important sections which we need to add. So here protocol and server name or IP and port number and what kind of request you are going to send, what are the path, and all these things we have to enter. So what I can do here is, so I will just take a small website. You can just take any website. I'm just taking pavanonlinetrainings.com. So I'm going to hit this particular URL through JMeter. So I'm just copying this URL here. So normally this particular request should be part of HTTP. So we don't need to put here. You can just add only www dot. So even the star representing the root node. So we should not specify any root here, but this will be part of your path here. So HTTP we don't require, or HTTP or HTTPS, whatever, we don't need to specify under server name. So here that will be part of this one, protocol HTTP. This will take care of it. The only thing is we need to add a website address, that is URL, and request type and path / representing the home page. And if you have to, or if you want to navigate to some different page, you have to specify here. Suppose index page, I'll say index.html. So like this. Okay, so you can just add multiple pages, but star by default representing the root page. So once we have added the page request, so this is called HTTP request. So just I'm adding very basic request. This is a URL and this is representing the root, and this is HTTPS request. So this will be taking care of HTTP or HTTPS. Right. So once it is done, the next thing is we need to add this. So once click on this add, then, so sorry, we are not doing this. So just once we have done this, you can just close this window. HTTP request is done. Okay, so once we have added all these things, so once we have run this request, we need to see the report, right? How much time it is taken to hit this websites and all. So for that, we need to create one more element, that is listeners. If you go to add here, you can see listener, right? So here there are different type of listeners we have. So these are all related to reports. So I'm just taking two different type of reports. Let's take a view result tree, and which is already added. Now right click again, I'll take one more report, right click, add listener, and here I'm taking in the tabular format also I can print the data. So here view results in table. So I'm just taking two types of reports here. So now what I have done is I have just created a test plan, new test plan, number of threads, thread group is created. Here I did the configuration, and then I have created HTTP request with this particular page. Then I have added two different reports by using listeners. So far we have done this one. So created test plan, thread group, sampler we have added, that is HTTP request. Then we have added the listeners. So the next thing is, let us run the test plan. But before running the test plan, we have to save it. So click on the save button here. Then it will ask you the name of your test plan. So here I will give some name. So my test plan 1. So because already test plan is there, so I'm just giving my test plan 1. The extension of this test plan is .jmx. Once it is given, so then click on the save. And by default, it will be saved under bin folder. I have just created my folder. You can save it anywhere. So just click on the save. So now my test plan is saved. Then I will run my test plan. So here select your test plan. You can just use this option, start, and just observe what will happen. So I'm just clicking on start here. As soon as I have started, so my test plan execution is started. So then you can see some result in the result tree and the result here. So you can also just go to HTTP request we have executed. So if you see here, result tree, my request is passed. So there are two requests have been sent. So because in HTTP request in the thread under users, I'll say number of thread 2, 1 second forever. So it's just send a request, and here internally it is send 2 requests. And view result table, you can see the request here. So my request is passed, and this is the time it is taken, sent bytes and latency time, how much time it is taken to hit the server, and this is the connection time, we got it. So this is basically result we can see for your HTTP request. Suppose I want to run the same request with multiple users or multiple cycles. So just go to your users, and now here I will just change the configuration. So number of threads, I will just specify 10 users. And time period, I will say 3 seconds, and loop count, I will just say forever. Okay, so this is a configuration. Now if you want to clear this particular results, so you can just go these options. So there are two options are available. So one is clear, there is one clear all. So if I clear here, this will be clear only a few entries in these two reports. Only one report will be clear. And when I use this particular clear all, everything will be clear. So I'm just clearing this, and now this everything is gone. In the tree also everything is gone. Everything is free. Now let's go to plan, and then again I'm rerunning with the new configuration. I said number of threads 10, ramp up time is 3. So again execute your test plan, save this after doing the configuration, then I'm saving it. So this is how we need to start again. Now we can see the tree structure or table. So still keep on running this one. See now, because I say forever in the configuration under users, I say forever. So it is keep on going like this. So totally 10 users. So we'll go randomly, send all the requests and sample timeout, status, everything is passed, and how much till latency time it is getting. So here it will be captured. And even in the view result view also, you can see every request wise, load time, connect time, latency time. So you can see a lot of information here. Okay, so this is how we need to just create a new test plan, add thread group, and with some configuration. Then I created sampler request. So as under sampler, we can have multiple request types. So I have used HTTP request, and then I have added 2 reports which are part of listeners. And here you can see everything. So this is how we need to create your test and execute your test. Suppose I want to stop. Okay, still it is keep on running because I say forever, right? So I want to stop here. There are 2 options are available. So one is here stop option. There is one shutdown. So stop option will just stop your execution. But here shutdown option will completely stop or remove your threads, all the threads internally. So I'm just clicking on this shutdown. So everything will be shut down. So now everything is stopped. So now I want to clear everything. So these two having some data. So I want to clear everything. So just go for this. It will clear everything. So everything is clear. So again, you can just rerun the test plan with a different configuration. All right. So as a basic step, we have seen how to create the thread groups, how to add a sampler, that is HTTP request. Then I have shown you how to add listeners, that means reports. Then I have run the test plan, and finally I save the test plan. So in the next video, we'll see a few more options which are very important in JMeter. So that's all for this video, guys. So thanks for watching.